Morning, good afternoon, good evening. The other day, I played a video of Mnangagwa reading the Riot Act to his followers, threatening them that they would be punished if they kept criticizing the party. The situation is getting worse in Zanu PF. The infighting, the dog-eat-dog fight is hotting up. This all emanates from what Ian Smith predicted in 1975, that if blacks rule themselves, the country will be walking on sewage and thinking it's normal. The country's infrastructure will collapse, etc., etc. The reality cannot be denied. Zimbabwe's economy has been in meltdown, and we cannot run away from that. Mnangagwa, when he took over power in 2017, he was so cocksure he was going to revive the economy. He had this mantra, Zimbabwe is open for business. It was clear that the floodgates of investors that he hoped would be attracted did not materialize. And the country's economy is in a worse situation now than it was when he took over. Corruption has become rampant. And he is losing control. And his only response was to buy the blind loyalty of his followers with brute force. Let's just listen to an audio of one of the Zanu PF members, at least he claims to be, giving his reply to Mnangagwa.
Right, kanjani makomrades maskera sei. Zita rangu ndinonzi comrade Nyoka yemabhunu ndo zita rangu. Ndine urombo zvikuru nechitiko chakasangana comrade Jim kunaka. But hapana chisingaperi, hapana chisina magumo. Yaiyo ya comrade kunaka ndiri kunyanya ibata chaizvo. Nditatamure ndichienda naye kure sekuti solution iripo zvayo. Ndakaona vaMnangagwa nezuro vakataura mupolitibhiro vachipomera vanhu maningi vachiti zveyo hatidi kuona vanhu vanoita zveZanu-PF musocial media vanozotora party business vachiriita musocial media imomo, vanhu ivavo vacharangwa zvikuru. Tangoseko nezuro takati ko baba ava vapindwa nei, because ndivo vakatanga izvozvo. Handimazviona ivo vaMnangagwa ndivo vakatanga izvozvo kuisa party business on social media, kubva vachiri VP waMugabe vachituka vachituma ana Jones Musara uyu, ana Frank Ziyambi, ana Tiri Musango Wenje kushoropodza vaMugabe namai Mugabe. Handimazviona vatova president kudai, vakabva vagadzira varakashi, vakabuda pachena pasocial media vakati pindai musocial media muende munorakashi. Saka kubuda kwavo pachena vachitaura zvekuda kutyisidzira vanhu vanotaura chokwadi musocial media, zvinongoreva kuti vari kuita politics dzema-double standard. Evil president himself takazvitaura takati murume uyo kwana achitenda kuenda kuright anokupandukirai 2 minutes anokupandukirai is the same person akatuma vana kuenda musocial media kuenda kunodefenda musangano, kuenda kunorakasha. Handimazvono zvino vacharakasha iye zvino zvivo varakasha vacho nekuti kunoita 5 days kusina magetsi. Magetsi anogona kutoita 5 days asiku kana 6 days. vatova president kudai ndopo vaituma vanhu kuti aizoita. Saka indava imimi muchirwadziwa kuti vana musangano vaexpose uori huri kuitwa nevanhu vakakutenderedza imimi president himself. Because isusu hatipo pakuti tine zvatiri kutsvaga, ende isusu for your information president isotokufarirai zvakanyanya. But ezvino zvita we end up with no other option. Because uori hwanyanya hwamuri kutadza kumisa imimi. Vanhu vacho vatiri kunongedza kuti uya kutoita uori ndo vamunosikira muinawo kufama. Handimazvona. Muchiita zvamunenge muchiita. Saka
well, what do you think?
Good day to you and good day to everybody. There's no honor amongst thieves. That is the conclusion of it. You know, Zanu PF, their foundation was built on, on oppression, on brute force, my way or the highway. So that has now spread within even the youngsters within the party itself. So we shouldn't be surprised when now it's now full-blown dog eat dog situation. Mnangagwa has failed to control the party, has failed to control his subordinates, and now everybody is doing as they please, and he can't go and knock on their door to question, why are you doing this? I mean, I'll give you an example. We have ZAC, Anti-Corruption Commission. This organization or this institution was formed way back, I think now it's got almost going on to 10 years now. It has arrested nobody. Why? Not that corruption is not there. Corruption is at its peak right now. If it's not the peak, I wonder what the peak would be, but it's rampant. But still nobody is getting arrested because they're friends of the president. And they know what the president has been doing, just like what this guy is saying. We know what you said, and we are doing what you said. You cannot then stop us because you feel as if it's not right for you anymore. This is where it's gotten to. Dog eat dog situation. And I'm not surprised coming from Zanu PF, not at all.
Well, it is true. The situation really has deteriorated. The truth of the matter is Zimbabwe is a failed state. This is at the heart of our problem. As much as Mnangagwa would want to silence people using brute force, the reality is the economic situation has forced millions to live in abject poverty. The nation is restless. What we are seeing in Zanu PF is reflected on the rest of society. The Zanu PF supporters or ruling elite are fighting among themselves because the national cake is shrunk. There isn't enough for everybody. But it's even worse among the ordinary people who are living in abject poverty. What Ian Smith predicted in 1975 of basic infrastructure collapsing has come to pass. Our hospitals are in such a sorry state that they've all but collapsed. And we cannot pretend that this situation can continue. It cannot. Zimbabwe has to change. And no amount of intimidation or brute force by Mnangagwa and those around him will stop the need for meaningful change in the country. The tragedy, in my view, is that while the Zanu PF thugs are fighting among themselves over power, they are failing to see that the real cause for the political and social unrest is that the system, the Zanu PF, the de facto one-party state, has failed. Most of these people, including the young men who was talking, they are fighting for another faction. They are fighting for VP Chiwenga to get into power. All we are doing here is musical chairs. The people of Zimbabwe don't want musical chairs. Let's address the fundamental problem, which is bad governance. And the bad governance, the root cause of it, is the country's failure to hold free, fair, and credible elections. That is the root cause. And I hope that as much as one cannot stop the in-house fighting in Zanu PF, I seriously hope that that infighting is not going to spill over and cause bloodshed among ordinary Zimbabweans. Ben, do you want to give your closing remarks?
In closing, I would want to say, in the end, we have a choice to make. Do we continue on this trajectory that we have chosen for ourselves, of ZANU PF, which is incompetent, and opposition, which is also incompetent? Both these two have failed. They have now resort to taking bribes from one another. I mean, we can witness right now the MP of Triple C was demanding a second fleet, second round of cars in a country where houses, healthcare system is deteriorated. So the evidence is there. We cannot then now close our eyes and wish it away. We need to press the reset button. We need to start thinking for ourselves. We need to start demanding from, accountability from people that hold high office, public office. And if we cannot do that and we continue with our blind loyalty, we will be drained and squeezed until the donkeys or the cows come home. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ben. I think our situation is tragic. And it's not going to go away. This issue of free, fair, and credible elections is at the heart of our problem. We have to address it. ZANU PF has no intention of addressing it. Whichever is the ZANU PF candidate in 2028, what we can be sure of is that they would rig the elections. And therefore, then the situation would not improve. And that is the problem. We also know that the opposition will participate in those flawed elections out of greed. It's not me saying that. They have said it themselves. It's just that people do not pay attention. Zimbabwe is in a serious problem. The infighting is Zanu PF could end up with bloodshed within the party and outside. And if we are not careful, the regime could drag us into a situation comparable to other countries, failed countries like Libya. Think about it. Thank you very much, Ben. And for those who were able to join us, thank you very much for joining us. And we hope you'll be able to join us again tomorrow, 6 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Zimbabwean time. Have a good night.